Donna Carpenter, welcome to the Swiss Economic Forum 2019.
Thank you.
Since 1981, you're with Burton. Have you ever imagined that you have now over 1,000 employees?
No, actually we never envisioned being on a ski area. When we started, it was a wood board with a rope on the end, meant to be done on the back hills, never meant to be done at a ski area, let alone an Olympic sport, and let alone worldwide.
In Switzerland here in the 90s, snowboarding was very famous and everyone was snowboarding. But in the past years, I think you know this as well, of course, the snowboard disappeared more and more from the Swiss slopes. Why is this?
You tell me. I think it's because Switzerland is just a very traditional alpine country. It is the lowest participation rate of any country in the world. There's not another country that has as low a participation rate. So we're here to change that. And, I think there are a couple of things that will change that. The technology, we now have a step-on technology that makes it even easier to get into than a pair of skis with the same performance as a buckle binding. And I'm also seeing a baby boom. I'm seeing the generation that started snowboarding. Snowboarding is fun. I mean, it's usually not like you do it and go, oh, now I'm a grown-up now, I'm not going to do that again. It's so much fun that this generation is sharing that gift with their kids, hopefully, and you're seeing family snowboarding really take off. Mm-hmm. So, there definitely was a decline. There was a boom and then a decline, but we've been here through all of it and we're seeing a growth again.
Mm-hmm. And you personally, you only snowboard, or sometimes
only
you're
snowboard.
Also on skis?
Only snowboard. No, only snowboard. It's too much fun. Yeah.
You recently moved from Vermont to Zurich. What is the idea behind moving to Zurich?
Yeah, my husband and I lived in the Alps in Austria in the 80s. He came over here to produce snowboards like skis using ski technology. And I ended up at a very young age running the European sales and operations. So we became this global company very early on, and we understood the European market. Jake and I lived here. And I realize as you grow and get bigger, we tend in the US to talk about Europe as if it were one market. People would say the US market and the Japanese market and the European market. And you're like, okay, this is not one market. So really the goal was to immerse ourselves back into the European market. I mean, we're living in Switzerland, but I've been to 11 countries since January.
Mm-hmm. And why Zurich and why not Austria or Germany?
Yeah, because in Austria and Germany, the participation rate is better, it's higher. We have a strong community of friends in Zurich that we've known for a long time. We have a new store there, shameless plug. It just felt like the right place, as well as being centrally located to travel to the other countries.
You transformed Burton from a company that is constructing snowboards to a real outdoor brand. Was this a normal transformation or strategically?
Well, in the beginning, no. I mean, in the beginning it was we made snowboards, and then we realized nobody made clothing for us. A snowboarder moves their upper body much more than their lower body, and all the ski clothing, in addition to being ugly, was very tight and short, and it didn't work for us. So we started making clothing out of necessity. And now I think, and snowboarding is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, And I don't think you can name another company that makes half gear, half outdoor clothing. I mean, maybe companies used to make climbing equipment or something, but they don't anymore. So Burton is very unique that way.
And what are your goals for the future? Where will be Burton in 10, 20 years?
Yeah, I think we'll still be here. We'll, I think as an entrepreneur, it's really kind of, you don't plan for, hey, what happens to my company at the end of the day? You don't know. But I think snowboarding will survive. I think Burton is a strong brand. I think, we've been able to nurture it because we've been privately held. So we don't have to think about, oh my God, what's the next quarter profit going to be? And that's why we were able to invest in things like gender equality and sustainability and the sport in general. I mean, we invest more in the sport than any company, any ski company, any snowboard company. And because we've cared more about the long-term health of the sport and the brand versus short-term profits. So, like I said, I think China's probably going to be bigger than the European market within 3 years, 4 years. And so that's a huge amount of growth for us, as well as, kind of reinvesting in participation in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Here at the Swiss Economic Forum, we also talk about young entrepreneurs. What is your piece of advice for young students, young people that want to start their own company?
Don't do it. No, I'm only kidding. Don't take no for an answer. I mean, we were told no, you can't do that. No, we won't lend you money. No, this will never work. And so I think have that, stay stupid, stay young, stay a teenager by saying, hearing no is just going to make me work harder.
Donna Carpenter, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.